It's taken 10 months, but finally, we have officially reached the end of the 2025 Metal Collection Push-Along range, with the final release that wasn't technically made for the 80th anniversary, but is still part of the line. This is TNF Disney G&E Fan 2009 speaking, bringing us to the end of the 80th anniversary CGI push-along reviews. I know the 2026 Day Out with Thomas variant of Thomas isn't technically for the 80th anniversary, but it is the final variant of Thomas for this line before the 2026 show merchandise comes in. Now, I don't really go to Day Out with Thomas events anymore because they're not in my part of the country now. It's been like that since 2018, I want to say. But I did manage to find this guy on eBay. Thankfully, mine was a bid and not a 60 quid odd one that I got paid for my Railway Series Thomas. So I think I got this in the Railway Series Storybook one for quite a decent price. I got this for around £23-ish. Might have been 30 quid actually, but oh well. Anyways, like all the other ones, let's just take a little look at this Thomas. Obviously, this is the 2025 Thomas, but reskinned to look like a Day Out with Thomas variant. This is basically a push-along dummy model Thomas. No, I'm only joking, but it is gimmicky, because that is to be expected, because this is what they do to Thomas every single time at the Day Out with Thomas events. They make him gimmicky. As you can see, it's the same mold, the same mining trucks from the All Legends Go range, and the Ruby Thomas. And that flag is an All Legends Go flag as well. It came from one very specific corner pack, which I never bought. As you can see, there's a promo image of the toy of Thomas without the front coupling for some reason. They did this to the motorized Trackmaster one as well. I don't have that, obviously, because at the time when the push-alongs and the motorized engines were coming out for the 80th anniversary, I really didn't want to. I wasn't planning to get the individual releases of the two packs in motorized, purely because of the white running board. But then when I realized that those versions of Thomas and Percy were clean, I just decided to get them. As you can see, it says exclusive there, because this is obviously exclusive to Day Out with Thomas. This might be the final CGI Thomas model released there for a long time. I say a long time for a reason, unless I decide to reuse the 2026 Thomas with a CGI face. I bet that's what they would do. Anyways, this is basically the front of the box. It's got music notes there, presumably because of So It All Sings Together, even though that was an All Legends Go special. Fisher-Price, Thomas & Friends logo. 2026 there. This is like the only new variant of Thomas or any of the other 80th anniversary engines for 2026. Ages 3 and up. It's on my box! I know I've used that joke before, but I thought I'd just do it again. Metal Collection there. Here's the underneath. As you can see, unlike the other models we've reviewed, the printing is different. Obviously, because in 2026, they changed the printing underneath them. Same with the re-releases of All Legends Go and original push-along stuff. Here is the back of the packaging. $18.99, brand new at a Day Out with Thomas event. Of course it'll be that much. It's going to be a rare item, but am I going to keep this mint in box like the Railway Series one? No way. I've got nothing to say on the box, so sorry if I'm struggling a little bit. There's just really not much to say about it because, reasons. Why are they using promo images of the toy, though? That's just one thing I don't get. Come on, Mattel. Anyways, without further ado, let's get this Thomas unboxed so we can actually have a proper talk about him without me stuttering. And we're going to run into this problem again. Hold on a minute, guys.
A few moments later.
Now that we've got the box out of the way, we can now talk a little bit in depth about this 2026 Thomas. Well, obviously, as you can see, it was made for Day Out with Thomas. Kind of like the motorized one that came out in last year in 2025. Solo Productions hasn't been shutting up on the rants about this. Honestly, I don't care that it's a recolor. As long as the model looks good, I'm happy. So taking a look at the side, this is the second 80th anniversary diecast Thomas to not feature the rivets. So thankfully when I customise this model, which I will be able to put the extra rivet detailing like the Blobber Seasons. It's nice to see that this Thomas doesn't have the rivet, but the texture is, once again, really nice. It's reminding me of the Solo Adventure Pack Thomas. I think this is the second Thomas to have the really nice texturing. As you can see, the wheels are different colours. On him, he's got a pink wheel at the front, an orange wheel in the middle, and a yellow wheel at the end. To anyone who wants to make an 80th anniversary Rebecca, you're going to have to buy 3 of these guys, which will be a lot of money if you didn't want to paint over anything. So that might be a problem. I still don't know if I'll do a Nia or Rebecca in the 80th line, for reasons. Now we just go ahead and turn this model to the front. As you can see, the face is once again reused, but the expression is once again different. His eyes are basically... It's basically like... I want to say like a cheerful, excited Thomas face. I would describe this as an excited face. Compared to the cheeky face on the stock standard model. The Railway Series face on the Railway Series one. And the 2 other ones looking towards the side on the Ruby Thomas and the Solo Adventure Thomas, respectively. Honestly, I like this face expression for him. I like the fact that they chose to give him a different one while still keeping him looking in the same direction as the other, like I want to say sort of normal variants, but not the normal variant, if you understand what I mean. So now looking over to this side, it's mostly the same. Mostly kind of gimmicky, but hey, that's just that's just the Day Out with Thomas variants. So most of the time they end up being a bit gimmicky, especially these ones from the 2020s. I'm talking about the Wooden Railway and the motorized one as well. I don't really think it's a bad thing. I kind of like this, just for the fact that it's a variant, that it's like a variant for the Day Out with Thomas event. Like, I know a lot of people hate it when they make Thomas look gimmicky or any other character look gimmicky, but there are some exceptions, and this one's definitely one of them. As you can see, he says Day Out with Thomas on the roof. I don't know if I'll be able to go over with Sharpie for the roof piece, respectively, because of the way that, you know, it's been coloured over, and I don't really like the fact that, you know, most of the engines in this line kind of do a take-along style roof, in a sense that there's like a little outline over the edges of the roof, like you can see here. But I'm not gonna lie, it looks mostly covered on this one, which I'm kind of happy for. Nothing to say about the back because it's the same on the other ones. However, I am going to be adding the red lining and painting the lamp and the back buffers, obviously. Because as you know, with my other reviews on the 80th anniversary stuff, I have been customizing these, and I will be customizing this one as well. As for the rolling stock, they're basically the exact same minecarts from All Engines Go's Push Along Range, and the reused ones from the Ruby Thomas. Thankfully, these ones are not going to have the chrome rubbing off. For some reason, they kept the All Engines Go small wheels. Honestly, I think they should have just put the CGI small wheels on these ones. But honestly, Mattel just wanted to reuse the pack, so... you know. That's like the only flaw with the wheels on this variant in particular. Because I don't mind them on the Ruby Thomas, but on this one, it's kind of distracting. Because the Ruby Thomas was already released at this point. So, it's kind of strange seeing these wheels still being used with the CGI model. Speaking of reused stuff from All Legends Go, this flag piece was reused from one very specific Push Along Kana 3-pack. I can't remember what it's called, but here's a picture of it on screen. As you can see, they've got the molded rivets because it's the same mold. And the printing, honestly, I think I prefer the printing on this compared to Thomas. Because you can tell that's quite gimmicky. I'm not saying it is a bad thing or anything, but I just think the gimmickiness kind of suits the rolling stock a little bit better. I think it's because that's what most of the toy ranges used to do. Particularly throughout the 2000s, shortly before, like, around the hit era, if you understand what I mean. Thankfully, the flag piece is removable, and it's very easy to remove, unlike the rubies on the Ruby Thomas. So that's a positive. As you can see, this flag piece is detailed on both sides. Honestly, I think this one might be actually better than the original one from that Kana pack. I'm going to put that back in. And as you can see, the wheels on the trucks are once again following the rainbow pattern. Because Thomas's wheels, you got pink, orange, yellow. This truck has green and blue. Thomas and Percy, best friends you'll see. I have to. And this one has got yellow and pink on that one. That looks kind of weird compared to the rest of this, because you would think after this they would put, like, I don't know, purple on that one to make it look more rainbow-esque. Although saying that, they could have put red on Thomas's, but hey, I'm just saying, I'm not complaining about it, just pointing out a flaw. And here's what the back of the trucks look like. Once again, though, buffers. Here's the printing on the opposite side of them. Overall, as an exclusive variant, I think I actually like this Thomas, and I think it's a good way to send off the 80th anniversary range, respectively. Because, you know, after this, we'll be getting the 2026 stuff. And then, you know, I really don't know what they'll be doing for a Diablo Thomas next year. Will they reuse something older? I don't know if they will, because the 2026 merchandise will be out, but I've got a feeling they might make a CGI series 2026 Fat Magnet Thomas. Or continue the minis range and just put a minis variant there, which honestly I think would be kind of silly, considering that minis might be getting discontinued as well. I'm not 100% sure, but the most recent models were in 2025 and some models were cancelled. Just before we wrap up this review, I'm going to do a comparison with this Thomas to all the other Thomas variants from the 2025 line. Here is the stock standard Thomas, who started the review of these guys. As you can see, obviously the other ones are more detailed. You already know that by now though, because I've been saying that in basically all the other reviews. I'm glad I don't have to do the rivet detailing on this one. It saves a lot more work on my part. And last time I did the rivet detailing, it was kind of sloppy. Here's an obvious comparison. The Ruby Thomas. Which I still think looks better than this one because, you know, it's the one that started this range and I still like the shininess of it even if the chrome rubs off really badly. This is basically the equivalent to a normal Thomas without the rivets, but done up in a new style. As you can see, basically everything was recycled from this, apart from the rubies, obviously. I will be doing the Origins Go detailing on the wheels of this one, though, because that's just what I like to do with the flat wheels. I like to make them look like All Legends Go. I care a lot about accuracy. There we go. Next in comes the Storybook Thomas, complete with the silver running board that I gave him. And yes, I did cut out the cab, just like I said I would. And the last comparison is obviously the Sodor Adventure Pack Thomas, complete with reused Annie and Clarabelle, but slightly better. So that was basically my unboxing of the 2026 Push Along Day Out with Thomas exclusive Thomas. Let me know what you think of this guy below, and let me know which Thomas model from the 80th anniversary Push Along range is the best. I'm only counting this one because, you know, it's a variant of Thomas reused from this line, and it's the only one to come out for 2026. So that's basically why I'm counting it. If it was released in 2025, I definitely would have counted it as 80th anniversary, but this is basically an additional one. And here is every single variant of Thomas in this line, all lined up together. I will be customizing this one, I've said that several times. It does look kind of jarring though, with his running board being red unlike the others though. Although it's been like that with all of my 80th anniversary reviews of the Push Along stuff. So that concludes the 80th anniversary Push Along range. Which model was your favourite, including James, Henry, and Percy? Sorry, I was nearly stuttering there, I'm kind of tired. Which is your favourite model from this line? Which is your favourite variant of Thomas? Let me know down below, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys later.